Hello and welcome back. My name is Regimal. I am a wanderer and this is my channel. Hello and welcome back to another episode of I Am a Wanderer. In this episode, I am going to share to you my first and probably my only contract working in the quantum of the seas from June 30, 2019 until January 20, 2020. Since I started working for Royal Caribbean in 2009, it has been my sixth ship. When I was in the Allure for my fifth and final contract, I got a new one and I found out that I was going to the quantum of the seas. My initial reaction was I didn't want to because probably I got used to Allure and I already know the management and most of the people there and the workplace. I asked the restaurant operations manager to send an email to the scheduler to send me back to the ship, but unfortunately the request was denied. I had no choice but to leave it like that. I was just thinking that I haven't been in Asia and it's going to be new ports of call for me. Some of the crew members who I talked to who had been in Asia already said that there is no money there because there is no tips, and when you are working in the dining room, at least by 8:30 in the evening you should be in your cabin already. I flew from Manila to Incheon International Airport in South Korea. We arrived there early in the morning. I went straight to my boarding gate and waited for my next flight. I went to sleep and I kept on waking up to check the time until I noticed that nobody else was there. I went to check the board to see the schedule of the departures. It was still right. And then that's when I realized that South Korea was 1 hour ahead of the Philippines. So I rushed straight to the gate and had my boarding pass scanned. I made it inside the plane, and then in just a few minutes, the plane took off. We made it to Tianjin and we were picked up and we were brought to the hotel. The following day, we were brought to the terminal. We arrived there around 7:50 in the morning and didn't make it inside the ship until 12:50 in the afternoon. That was the longest sign-on procedure I've ever had since I started working for Royal Caribbean. For the restaurant staff, we went straight to the dining room to meet the ROM or the restaurant operations manager, but instead it was the maitre d'. It was Sir Memish, a specialty restaurant manager in the Allure. I knew he was there, but I didn't know that he was the maitre d'. He was surprised to see me, and the first question he asked me was that if the ROM saw my hair already. I was assigned in the Solarium Bistro, one of the specialty restaurants on board, and hot pot was served there. This was the buffet with different vegetables, ingredients, and sauces. We serve a meat plate consisting of lamb, beef, meatballs, beef tripe, and dumplings. The other one is a seafood plate with shrimp, 2 kinds of fish, one is salmon, squid, and fishball. There are also 3 soups, the tomato, the spicy, and the Sichuan. Since the ship is in China, most of our guests are Chinese. So the non-Chinese crew members are paired to those Chinese crew. In specialty restaurants, only the Chinese waiters are doing the promotion and their partners stay on the restaurant to serve the guests. This was a breakfast buffet in the solarium. Fruits, milks, yogurts were served. Danish and breads were on the buffet too. Toast and bagel were not popular. There's always fried rice. The oatmeal was barely touched. Congee and its condiments are the favorites. We have a selection of cold cuts. Ice was rarely used, and because of that, most ice machines were turned off or closed. There was also a fried egg and omelette station. I went in the Windjammer to see my friend Brian, who was also from the Allure. When I got there, I was so amazed how big it was. I think it was 3 to 4 times bigger than Allure's. There had been times I'd seen the venue during operations. It was full and very busy as usual. They had a lot of selections of food. Asian foods. I've also seen there were crabs and chicken feet in the buffet. There was also a hand washing station by the entrance. This was my hair when I signed on. Then one night we had a general meeting and the ROM finally saw me and asked me many questions and told me to color it. Before joining the ship, I already brought a black hair dye with me. I had this feeling that this could happen. That same night, I colored my hair. Then the following day, he saw me in the crew mess and saw my hair, and he thanked me. From the day I signed on, June 30 until July 25, I didn't have a roommate. When I got one, I went to the crew office to apply for a single share cabin, but the rule is different from the Allure. The crew officer said that I have to be a supervisor or a higher position to get one. Another contract with Paxtril and Port Manning. In my 5 contracts on board the Allure, I don't remember us having a street food festival. Maybe there was, but I didn't go or I was on vacation. I was so busy wandering in our ports of call that I didn't plan to eat the local food, except on this day, I was with my new set of friends. We ate in one Japanese restaurant and this is what I had. Itadakimasu! This was the Kung Fu Panda noodle shop in Deck 15, a specialty restaurant that is a la carte pricing, celebrating Momo's birthday in another specialty restaurant called Harp and Horn. For the celebrants, the ROM gives a gift, a card, and a free meal of $20 to spend. I used mine in the Kung Fu Panda. Sometimes, specialty waiters are assigned to work in the main dining room during lunch. I was glad that there was teamwork here. When waiters are finished and they were asked to help the others who aren't, they have no complaint. Right now, on my way to the Royal Theatre to watch one of the production shows. It's called The Sequins and Feathers. So I just finished watching the show and I would say that I have enjoyed it. Most of the show. I think there's only one part that wasn't really that much, but as a whole, I really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the costumes, the production, the songs that they use, and the dance. Just like when I was in the Allure, there was a spot or a place in the crew mess where I always eat. If that was taken, I would sit to the next table within the area. Different fried rice was served in the crew mess. Every single day I had it except for one day. The ship was soon repositioning in Singapore and there will be no more hot pot. The restaurant changed the menu to Greek and Mediterranean cuisine, and the food tasting was done and also the familiarization of the cocktails in the bar. This was our itinerary as we sailed to Singapore. This was my first ever personal tip during the contract. If it wasn't for dry dock, I would never have the chance to go out and wander in Singapore. The shuttle leaves at 11 o'clock in the morning and I always tried to leave as soon as I could and came back to the ship at least 3 hours before my duty. So I usually went out every other day, and when I don't, I was sleeping the whole day.
A little bit further back on the hull when we're making speed and ensures better fuel efficiency. You also can see the anchor chain has been, the anchor has been laid down in the dock. That's we do every time we go to dry dock. We inspect the chain, inspect the anchor, we paint it before we bring it back up. And also the opportunity that we have in order to go into the chain locker where it's all stored in order to do cleaning and painting and inspection.
During the dry dock, I was working night shift in the crew mess from 12 midnight until 7 o'clock in the morning. What a small world it was. Who would have thought I would see in Singapore a friend and classmate in high school? was so ready to go home. The first half of the contract when in China was better than the second half. Since we moved in Singapore, it was very exhausting. There was so much pressure for me in the promotions and reservations for specialty restaurants, and I wasn't very good on that. When we were finally off the ship, my paisano who was supposed to be flying with me told me that his flight details was changed. So I checked mine and it was changed too. When I reached the airport, I went straight to the counter of the airline to check the luggage limit because I knew that mine was over. I found out that I only have 20 kilos allotted. After weighing my luggage, it reached more than 70 kilos. I was advised to upgrade my booking, and even if I did, I will still have extra and I will need to pay 750 Singaporean dollars. And I only have until 2:30 in the afternoon to upgrade it. I contacted the crew assist and asked for their help. There were two who tried to help me, but there was nothing that they could do. I already missed my flight and I had to contact the crew assist again. The third and the last one was very helpful. She was very nice. She found two flights for me to choose from. The first one was a flight from Singapore to Manila, and then the second one was from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, and then Kuala Lumpur to Malaysia. So I have already chosen my flight, and thanks to my paisano also Leo, because he helped me, he assisted me, and he went with me everywhere until everything was sorted out. I went to check in my 2 pieces of luggage. I was worried because I know I still have extra, and the new booking was only for 40 kilos. But the guy in the counter, he didn't say anything, he just checked me in. It was a big sigh of relief. So before going to my boarding gate, I was thinking about going to these waterfalls that they were talking about. The security said it was far from where I was and I only have 2 hours left before my flight, and I don't want to miss it and I don't want to have any problems again. So I skipped and I didn't go to the waterfalls. So I made it to Kuala Lumpur and my flight is not until next morning. I was planning to go to the Petronas Tower, but I was thinking it would be too risky to go out on my own, and I have these 2 heavy backpacks and it was slowing me down. So I decided to stay in the airport. After all the problems with the flight and the luggage, I finally made it to Manila and I was welcomed by my family. So at the moment, I am still here in the Philippines and I am still waiting for my next schedule to join the ship, and hopefully that will be soon. The last time I checked, there are now 61 subscribers, and I want to say thank you very much to all of you. Let us continue to achieve the goal, road to 100 subscribers. This should be all for now in this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you will be notified for the latest videos. Like and share this video and leave your comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and God bless us all. I will see you in the next one, and be ready to get away with me.